Hi, how are you? This is Sandstorm here, and welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4. Today we are once again playing as the Soviet Union to resume our Soviet Union series. This is part 2 of the series, and as you may notice, we are using a few new mods, 2 new mods to be exact. The first mod we're using is the Blue Marble Darkest Hour map style mod, which implements this nice dark map with rich saturated colors, which I personally like a lot, and I think it works well in conjunction with our other mod, the Universal Colored Puppets mod, which makes all of our puppets the same color as us. So it's much easier for you to see where the revolution has been spread. Like down in Africa, it's all red down here instead of being the multicolored nations like they would be. Usually you just have to hit F10 to see that map. But if we invite anyone else to the Comintern that is not our puppet, you'll be able to tell which sphere of influence is which. So in episode 1, we were able to conquer the Allies, setting up the French Commune and the Union of Britain, decolonizing all their empires and setting up people's republics. And we were able to occupy all of Germany. And in this episode, we're going to try and work on capitulating Italy to get a peace deal with the Allies, so we can set up some puppet governments in Eastern Europe. We'll be able to retake Bessarabia. And then maybe we'll move over to the east to secure a communist puppet state in China and take out Japan, or go after the remnants of the Allies so that we can have a base against the United States for possible invasion. Anyways, we have a garrison deploying right now. Let's deploy all the divisions on the garrison. I think they will deploy automatically at level 2 once we unpause. But that'll help against this massive German-Italian advance going on into the heartland of the Soviet Union. I'm not too worried about that right now because we should be able to push into Italy very quickly and get a peace deal. Let's see if we can set up the armies to do that. Let me assign all the troops down to the Italian border, move the fleet in, and hopefully get a naval invasion around to Rome or Naples. At the moment, our stability is very low, so we're going to assign the popular figurehead, which gives us extra 15% stability. I really hope we will not have to purge him in the purge, because that will be our next focus we're going to have to do to avoid a civil war. Anyways, I've reorganized the armies. We've got our tanks going over to Austria, which we are going to have to declare war on immediately, or else they're going to get guaranteed by the Allies. So let's do that right now. They're probably going to join the Axis, who Czechoslovakia is at war with. So we are going to have the Czechoslovakian front open as well. Hopefully we can get our troops back from the United Kingdom in time to contain Austria. But let's see what we can do for now. So Austria has joined the Axis and gotten called into the war against Czechoslovakia. And Poland has capitulated, which is not a good sign. Hungary also joined the Axis, which means they're going to be at war with Czechoslovakia, and we should be able to get them in the peace deal, which is going to be helpful since they aren't a real threat. It means we won't have to justify them in the future. In the meantime, we're making good progress in Italy. We have a cipher open, so I think we're going to go with the Chinese cipher for right now. Getting pushed back by the main front in Poland, but we're doing fine against Austria, and we're going ham on Italy, especially since our troops have arrived back from the United Kingdom. I'm just afraid Hungary might get cut out of the peace deal if we don't get to their core territory, so I'm trying to get through Austria and into the Hungarian core area. Oh, fall of Rome. Well, this is going to be quick against Italy, isn't it? Okay, I believe we have reached Hungarian core territory now. Yes, we've reached Affold here, Affold province. Since most of their troops seem to be in Austria, I'm going to try and push into Budapest and see if we can capitulate them. Meanwhile, Italy is collapsing. Czechoslovakia has capitulated. These are definitely dark times. But Italy is very close to capitulating as well, as you can see. Oh, they're at 99%. Yes, we occupy most of their nation. Kingdom of Greece declared war on Albania. Well, that's not uncommon. As I've mentioned, I've seen that before, where for some reason Greece declares war on Albania. I think they have a claim state from the start of the game, Northern Epirus. Albania was guaranteed by Italy, so Greece is now at war with the Axis, so they will end up in the peace deal. Although I don't think they're really going to have any score, because the war is almost over. Yeah, the wars are getting merged. And we'll take a few more tiles, and Italy will capitulate. I also just saw the event fall of Kiev, so they're getting quite far into the Soviet Union. We are actually 18% of the way towards capitulation. That's a bit unfortunate. Most of our puppets have been decimated. So the quicker we end this war, I think the better it is going to be for everybody. And Albania joins the Axis. Austria capitulated, and that's the end of the war. As you can see, Greece only has 10 score, and I don't think they're interested in taking anything. So, first thing we need to do... Ah yes, Hungary is in the peace deal as well. This is perfect. First thing we need to do is take the states we need for us and our puppets. So, we need Bessarabia back, as it is part of the Ukrainian SSR. And we also need Königsberg, because once we connect through Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia, it will be a core part of the Soviet Union. Although I don't think it's actually going to become a literal core state. It's sad that they don't have those Soviet claims ability to become cores later in the game, but it is what it is for now. So we'll do that. I'm not sure if Greece is going to take anything, so we should probably get going. I think Istria and Zara will release to Communist Yugoslavia whenever we get them. So we're going to puppet Austria. We're going to puppet Hungary. We're going to puppet the rest of Romania. And then we're going to give the eastern parts of Germany, the historical areas, into the Polish People's Republic. Give them these historic territories to get the modern day Polish borders. And then back to us. We're going to puppet Germany now, and Italy has a few people that can be satellited. We can satellite Ethiopia, Kingdom of Libya, and Eritrea on their African colonies. Now we did have Kingdom of Corsica in this. If we scroll down the list, what is their flag? I don't know. I think they're very close to the bottom. There it is, Revolutionary Corsica. We can give them Sardinia because for some reason Sardinia cannot be satellited. Now as a prize for joining the war, we're going to give Greece their core on the Dodecanese. And Albania is not in the peace deal because we haven't been fighting them for long enough. So I think Greece will be able to either just get a white peace with them or take all of Albania whenever they finish their war. And then I think we are going to puppet the rest of Italy. Oh yes, I almost forgot. They have Somaliland here, which we'll release to the Somali Democratic Republic, who we have already satellited. It's a little bit complicated to manage all these puppets, but I think it's worth it in the end if you're playing as a, trying to do a little role playing as a communist power. So we'll just puppet Italy on the rest of these states here. End the turn, and I think everything should be good. Alright, Italy did not get puppeted. but Greece didn't take anything except for the Dodecanese, which we gave them. So let's puppet Italy this turn. The puppets look multicolored on the peace conference screen, but once we exit the peace conference, which we will do now since everything has been taken, and all of the puppets have now turned into Soviet red, which is perfect. So let me delete all these orders, and we'll take a look at our new puppets that we've just created. You can turn off the UI by doing Control F9, I believe. Yes, there we are. We have the Austrian Soviet Republic, Hungarian People's Republic, Romanian People's Republic, and most of Eastern Europe, along with Central and much of Western Europe, is now under Soviet control, along with most of Africa. So let me just release. I believe Somali Democratic Republic should have a core. Yes, they do have a core on the Somaliland, so let me go down through the occupied territories and release the Somali Democratic Republic its core. Here we are, return Somaliland to the Somali Democratic Republic. If you hit F6, you can usually tell where you need to release territories back to because they are the only territories which will have resistance. Aside from these occupied areas in Eastern Europe, we have our areas which we will release to Yugoslavia once we puppet them, and then over in China to a communist Chinese puppet. Oh, and look at that, Greece is still at war with Albania, so they'll get to take them over. So we'll only have to justify on one person to take all of them out. Alright, now after those wars, I think Europe is now under firm Soviet control. There are still a few nations left, but we are going to get an upgrade to justification time if we do the NKVD diplomacy, which gives us minus 50% subversive activities cost, which is minus 50% war goal justification time, I believe. So we're going to wait for most nations to justify, since we are a communist power and we don't get that justification speed bonus from being over the major like a fascist power would be. We're going to wait for that modifier to do most of these other countries, but through other focuses down our anti-fascist diplomacy, we get Baltic security claims in the Baltic, which allows us to annex all the Baltic nations and get a war goal on Finland. So there's no need to justify on those manually until we have the focus. So for now, I think we're going to justify a war goal on Xinjiang, because I would like to go to war with China and Japan. If there was some way for Communist China to become my puppet, I wouldn't see any need to go to war with them, but I don't think they have any focus or any decision we can do to intervene in their politics. So we need to go to war with them to make them our puppet and then give them the rest of China. So I believe Xinjiang will give us military access. That's actually quite nice. So will China. We may as well ask for that first. Can't justify war. We have a non-aggression pact with China, is that right? Alright, it appears we have a non-aggression pact with China, which we can't break for another year. So I think this is going to be the perfect time for us to go on a quick excursion. Oh my goodness, the Allies' color is so similar to the Comintern color. I apologize for that. But this is a perfect time for us to go on a quick excursion to take out the rest of the Allies. Usually the only one that doesn't join the war is South Africa, so we're going to justify on them. Probably since we have a direct land border with them, down with our puppets here in Africa. Whereas Australia and New Zealand we don't, and Canada is the faction leader, so they are obliged to join. And this will give us enough time to get our troops moving, and hopefully we can have some more troops recruited. Some tanks hopefully, because they're super effective in China, by the time we do go against China and Japan. And by that time, we'll be in a good spot to get against the United States, although I don't think we're going to be able to do that in this episode. So let's assign our garrison. Here's our 26 garrison divisions. These are going to be super helpful for naval invasions because they are very low supply. They're low quality divisions. They're not very good at attack. They're okay at defense, but they're very good at filling gaps in a line, especially against weaker enemies like Canada and the rest of the Commonwealth in 1938. So I'll send these around the world, and we'll make sure to do a naval invasion to Australia and New Zealand, like we usually do, and we'll be able to run a full invasion against South Africa and Canada. Alright, the invasions are prepared for the Dominions, but I'm also going to justify on Spain, since it's only 185 days, while we're justifying another war goal. So it's only going to be about 50 days or so after we declare war on Canada. Spain is going to be good to get because they become quite powerful later on, like they can have upwards of 200 divisions. And since the Spanish Civil War ended quite early, that means that we can attack them rather early. They only have 4 to 24 divisions right now. Although they might do with deploying out some divisions now that they know we're justifying them. I don't think it's going to be too much since they're still on their recovering from Civil War modifier, which is quite crippling. Alright, we've got the Soviet volunteer group. We may as well support them in any way we can. It doesn't even send volunteers, it just gives us air experience and then the option to send some, which we will not be sending since of course we are going to be attacking China. Although sadly I think it's going to be right after the purge, so it might be quite difficult because it is late 38 and we need to do the purge right now, or else I think there's going to be a large chance Trotsky's going to start a civil war. Oh, and we have an army here sitting here doing nothing. This must be our naval invasion army. We may as well send them over to Canada for reserves on the naval invasion. Albania has just capitulated to Greece and has been annexed, and with it the last of the Axis. The Axis no longer exists as a faction. Soon the Allies will not either. Alright, first off we have our first purge event. So what you want to do is remove Khrushchev, who just gives extra communism support. I think we did it a little bit late though, so we're just going to have to go for the minor civil war when Trotsky returns. Something has happened and Moscow stands, so we also got Japanese provocation at our border, which means we might have a border war starting soon. I think what we're going to do is deploy 6 of our garrison units and then keep the rest near Moscow in case a revolution does break out and there is a minor civil war or uprising. And we'll just keep these in reserve in case of a border war. Stalin just died and now Trotsky's here. And everybody just stopped being a general. Okay, we're going to have to withdraw from Spain because there's going to be a minor civil war. Okay, let's see what happens. I hope we are still in control of all of our puppets. Yes, very good. So, we are doing a Trotskyist playthrough, I guess. Justify war goal time plus 15%. Well, that is unfortunate. Now we're still doing the Great Purge somehow. Is that going to cancel? It seems like we lost a lot of our units. Well, not that many, just a few. Let's check our invasions, make sure we still have... Yeah, I think all of our invasions should still be good to go. We still have 18 divisions down here and 3 over here. Speaking of which, we should create some naval invasion orders. We have our ships over here already. Just the usual invade next to a port. Let's deploy some troops across the front. And we should probably take our troops off of Spain for the time being. I think we retained control of most of our tanks, which is quite nice, although we lost most of our generals, so we're going to have to resign those real quick. And the focus has been bypassed because it was cancelled. I guess we'll continue down to NKVD primacy. Oh my goodness. Okay, we got the join war spam. I was reading the dev diary released yesterday, and apparently this is going to be a thing that they are going to fix. There's going to be no join war spam, and there's going to be no merge war spam, like when someone gets called into a war, and then they call everyone else in, and you get pop-ups while you're trying to micromanage your troops. Apparently all that is going to be fixed, so hopefully we don't get this ridiculous stuff while we're just trying to do a, spread the revolution gameplay. Alright, our justification on the Allies has just finished. The border war has just started. It looks like we are winning it though. I think we are. It's 1-5 right now. We seem to be doing a good job containing it at the moment, although we did get encircled on our way to Stalingrad. I think Stalingrad is probably their largest victory point, so it should put them a good bit towards capitulation if we take it. The rest of our troops are now arriving, so I think if we declare war on Allies, they're going to join the Allies. Now, Trotsky does have a plus 15% justified war goal time, but I think we can upgrade him through this. And hopefully we get minus 50% through this as well. we're going to have to see what this does, but I think in the end we should be able to justify war goals fairly quickly. At least that's what I'm hoping. So I think it's time we declare war on South Africa. We still have plenty of divisions on them. We won't call anyone in. We'll wait until the rest of the allies join. Okay, Canada has joined, which means the rest of them should be in tow. Let's activate this naval invasion order. We should be able to activate those 2 dominions with just those small naval invasions. And which army is it that's doing the naval invasion? It's this one here. So let's activate this order on Canada. We might be able to push out on the main front as well. We have supply, since some of our troops are lost in the Civil War. I was not planning on the Civil War, but it could be an interesting and exciting twist to the series. And we just defeated Japan. Perfect, we get an extra bonus on our doctrine research. Alright, I think we're ready to call in Botswana and Zimbabwe. And Zambia as well. Let's see if we can make a push against South Africa. I think we should be able to easily. Alright, the initial invasion of Canada didn't exactly go to plan. So I've tried another one out in the east. Although we might manage to take Quebec in the frenzy. And we did manage to take Quebec. Let's get reinforcements in at both positions. We'll put the tanks in the main invasion at Quebec. We've just completed our national focus NKVD primacy. Let's go for NKVD divisions next, and we might be able to get lessons of war, which will remove the purge effects. Our justification just completed on Spain, but I think we're going to have to wait until the revolution has been dealt with first. I'm going to justify on Portugal while we wait. Oh my goodness, 25 days. Look at that. Okay, Leon Trotsky gives... I think something happened. Because with La Resistance, since they didn't rework the Soviet Union, I think they did something where they changed subversive activities and war goal time, so now they both apply to justify war goal time. So Trotsky gives minus 30, but he also gives plus 15. Now the NKVD gives minus 50, and so does world tension. So this is what I like to see, because now it's like we're at war with a major as a fascist, except all the time. So 25 days for each justification is going to be fantastic, because even if we miss our justification on Spain because we're dealing with Russia, it's only going to be like a small, like weak foreign policy event, and we'll be able to re-justify very quickly. So this could actually rather easily come into a world revolution conquest in which we have everyone as our puppet. But we'll have to see how long this series goes for. We might just, do the majors like we usually do. But for now, let's just finish up in Canada. We've landed in Quebec again, and we're making another front in the east. So we did lose a good few casualties to Canada for almost 50k. But South Africa, as you can see, is nearly capitulated. We're just having a bit of resistance at Cape Town. Hopefully that Canadian troop is on a garrison. I was hoping he'd move out, but we'll just take the rest of South Africa while we wait. Somehow Russia's occupied this province we lost to Canada. Anyways, we've captured Stalingrad and Russia's nearly capitulated. We just have a few more victory points in the Caucasus to take out. Do they have cores on all of the Soviet Union? Oh yes they do. How about our occupied? No they don't. We have our war goal on Spain for another month and a half until the beginning of July, which should be, hopefully, plenty of time for us to finish up with the Russian Civil War. They've gone a little bit ham over in the Central Steppe, but as long as we maintain some order of air supremacy in the European regions, we should be able to push into their victory points. They're now at 83% towards capitulation. And we're nearing the Caucasus and the Georgian and Armenian victory points in the south. We'll get to their capital, and I think that should be the end of the uprising. Oh look, there's still a little sliver in the Caucasus that they managed not to take. And we've taken all of it back. I think we're going to have to take this land in a peace deal. Hopefully that doesn't mean there's going to be resistance in this territory. That would be quite annoying. But anyways, let's set up quickly on Spain and get that invasion done. So hopefully we can get into Portugal and do some other wars in Europe with our European army. Logistics-wise, we seem to be doing fine. We still have about 150 divisions, but hopefully we'll be able to bring that up a lot. Hopefully producing some tanks. I'm just researching medium tanks right now. So, and I got light tank 2s as well, so we should be able to upgrade our tank divisions, which will greatly help for China. And I'm trying to build our air force up to a large air force, especially one that can compete with the United States. Ooh, we have an amazing Australian spy here. Or no, sorry, this is a New Zealand spy. Can't tell with that low resolution flag. But we got Seducer, Tough, and Master Interrogator. That is simply amazing. Speaking of which, I believe these two nations have been activated. The troops are dead, and from what I can see, they've taken casualties. So I think that part of the plan should be under control. We just have to capitulate Canada. And they're mostly capitulated already. We just have to get all the way to Vancouver to make sure they're capitulated. Cape Town still stands, but I don't think it'll stand for long. The Canadian garrison moved out, which is a good sign. Yeah, it's being encircled and it's besieged by the Soviet troops. The game is running quite jankily now. I think it's a combination with all these puppets. I don't think it's any of the mods. They said they don't impact game performance, but I would definitely recommend checking these mods out. Alright, we're gonna say no non-aggression pact with Turkey. They're actually a pretty good puppet if we can get our hands on them. They'll allow us to connect up Africa and the Middle East to our mainland Soviet Union. And I believe we can cancel our non-aggression pact with China. So whenever we want to do that and invade China, we'll just cancel the non-aggression pact. South Africa just capitulated. That's perfect. We got an agent captured. Let's see, by who? Captured in the United States. Let me see if I can remember where that intel network was. Yeah, there, right there. Let's now do a rescue operation. I forgot we were trying to build collaboration in the US, but I don't think that's going to be too necessary for the time being. Let's try and rescue our agent first. The last of the troops are just arriving at Spain right now, so I think we should move our aircraft over and declare war as soon as possible. I have no idea where our airplanes are at the moment. We do have only 1K, so a lot of them got stolen by our unfortunate encounter with the non-aligned party. But I think we have enough supremacy that we can declare war on Spain right now. Let's move in and see if we can capitulate them as soon as possible. They have joined the Allies, that's perfect. As long as they don't join the Chinese United Front or anything. Everything should be all under control. Oh yes, we need to call in France. The French Commune, I should say. And let's justify on Portugal next as well. They'll be handy to get as a puppet since they have a lot of overseas colonies. The French are actually quite a good military aid right now because they have some nice light tanks that seem to be fully equipped. The division seems like it might be a little jank, but I mean, they're moving really quickly, which is helping against Spain, since Spain doesn't have many troops. The quicker they capitulate, the better. So we can get on to Portugal and then other nations in Europe. This justification speed is really helpful. I know a lot of people say Trotsky is bad, especially since he can't do instant coups and whatnot anymore, but this justification speed is just, on a non-historical Soviet Union game, it's just revolutionary, I might say. Lessons of War, that is going to be amazing, because I believe that gets rid of Officers Purged. Officers Purged is quite crippling. It's the big downside of the Soviet Union. They have a large army, huge manpower, but they start out having to do the purge, or else you get a little uprising like this, and the officers purged. Getting rid of that basically means we're going to be unstoppable, which we were already since we, took over most of Europe in the first 2 years of the game. Since Portugal's up next, I think we should split up our army onto the Portuguese colonies so that our puppets don't capitulate and our army gets encircled. We were able to encircle most of Canada's army. I'd say we've been doing pretty well on the Canadian front for having a real rough start. Didn't exactly go to plan. We lost quite a few divisions to Canada in the first week or so of the war. Justification on Portugal has been completed just in time because Spain is going to capitulate shortly. I don't think we have any other war goals on anyone. Oh, I accidentally told this cavalry just to go. Well, that'll be fine. Yeah, I don't think we have any other war goals. Oh yes, we have a war goal on because we are still technically in a civil war since Canada has not capitulated. So I think we should justify next on the Benelux because they're going to definitely join the Allies. We'll start with the Netherlands, so we can liberate the Dutch East Indies and other colonies from their empire. We have our cipher on China, so I think we're going to start on Japan next. We've just completed our justification on the Netherlands. We'll go after Luxembourg next, since we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves on the justifications. We have a war goal on Portugal for another month or so we have time on Spain to finish up, since Spain has a little bit of a higher or lower surrender limit. And in Canada, we're just slowly making our way over towards Vancouver. And Spain has just capitulated. Declared war on Portugal, and it seems like there's no troops at home. They must all be in their colonies. Actually, we should call in the Raj, because this little bit needs to go to them. And it'll be easier just to give it to them in the peace conference than to take it and release it later. And they're doing good work anyway. They're going to take out the division. Portugal has just capitulated, and Angola has capitulated with them, but Mozambique has not. So we'll continue attacking their colony from the African nations that were called in against South Africa. This seems to be where their army is. There's a lot of divisions here. Anyway, let's move on next to the Netherlands. Let's call Germany into this war so that they can help militarily and allow us access into the Netherlands. And our justification on Luxembourg has just completed. Let's do Belgium next. I think we're ready to declare war on the Netherlands. Let's do that right now. And they have joined the Allies as expected. Also, as expected, we are overrunning their positions at surprising speed. We just discovered medium tanks. I think we're going to put on a large production line dedicated to medium tanks. The Dutch East Indies has joined the war, and we'll be able to satellite them in the peace deal. And the Netherlands has capitulated. Let's get our army onto Luxembourg, which should even out our border against Belgium. I just tagged over to Belgium to check, and there is the formidable nation, the United Kingdom of the Netherlands, which I think could be an interesting union to make one of our puppets like the Netherlands form. So I think we should probably, in the peace deal, try and do that. I'm not so sure about Iberia. If I tag to Spain, I think it's like a focus or something you have to do. If it is just a decision, though, then no, I don't believe it is. Or maybe it is for Portugal. If there's some easy formidable nations like this, like I had this idea for United States of Central America as well, that you could just take one of those and expand the puppet into all those nations necessary, and then tag over and take the decision for them. But I think we should definitely do that for a union in the lowlands. If it is possible for Iberia, I don't see any easy way right now without sort of messing up their focus tree. But if we do puppet them as communist, it might give them access to their communist part of the focus tree. So we'll have to see about that, but for now let's just tag back to the Soviet Union. We've just completed Lessons of War, which should mean the purge is gone. Now we're down to Research City Experiment, or we could go over to Far East Fortification down to war with Japan, which might be a little more helpful than... And we do get one research slot at the end there, actually. I think for now we need to get down this part of the tree, because it is quite long. I know we only needed to get down to claims in the Baltic and Baltic security, but we're in a defensive war right now, so we can't do that. This gives us some war goals in the Middle East. That's quite nice. Let's go for Far East fortification for right now. And then down to war with Japan and extended Tuva and whatnot. Oh. Alright, there were too many war invites in the way. I couldn't see who I signed. I got an army defense expert. That seems actually quite nice. I think we're ready for Luxembourg. Let's go attack quickly. And it's 99 immediately. And let's immediately reassign, now that Luxembourg has capitulated, all of our troops onto the Belgian border. We just completed our justification on Belgium. I know we get a claim on Turkey and an ultimatum, but I'm not sure if it makes them our puppet. And they do get that ridiculous guy. All you do is gain a claim. Alright, let's justify in Turkey right now. And declare war on Belgium once our troops are in position. And Belgium has capitulated. Let's reorganize on the Turkish border. I don't think there's going to be any need to call in our Middle Eastern allies. So for now, we'll just stack some troops here and here and put our tanks in reserve and create a naval invasion powered by our Black Sea fleet. If this isn't enough, we might have to call in these allies down here, but I don't think Turkey is a major, so we should be okay if we don't capitulate them. Agent sadly was killed. I'm not sure if he was trying to rescue the other agent, but I did not catch where he was killed. But sadly he will not be in service for the Soviet Union anymore. We just completed our justification on Turkey. I'm going to justify on Bulgaria next, in case we're not able to. Oh, they're actually going to give us military access. That's handy, but we still can't attack Turkey through them, so we'll justify on Bulgaria, in case we can't get through Turkey. Speaking of which, let's declare war on Turkey. I hope this naval invasion goes. Alright, we're making landings. It seems as if our African puppets are starting to capitulate. South Africa has gone ham. Okay. It's out of control in Africa. We need to take back South Africa because something went wrong with Portugal and Belgium. I think they put all of their troops in their African colonies. And I think we need to recapitulate South Africa now. Our justification on Bulgaria has just completed, and we also just completed our doctrine, which is perfect. So I think next, Yugoslavia is still quite long, right? Yes, they have an extra advisor, I believe. So we'll go up and justify on Ireland next. We just completed our national focus Far East fortification. Let's go for Operation Z. Once again, it doesn't actually force you to do Operation Z, it just allows you to support China through this. which is handy, especially if you're doing a historical game. All of our African puppets are capitulating, which is quite bad. But I think Turkey's about to capitulate as well. We do have our war goal on Bulgaria, so we'll have to gather some of our Turkish troops to invade from the European Turkish bit. But I think we are slowly taking back South Africa. Our justification on Ireland has just completed. I think maybe we should go on Yugoslavia next, since it will take a while. Once again, we are getting a bit ahead of our war goal justifications. I'm going to request Romania's troops and put them in the Turkish salient, so that we can get going on Bulgaria. Oh, look at that, they're able to walk through Bulgaria since we have military access to them. And Turkey has capitulated, thank goodness. We're now ready to reorganize up in Ireland. It should only be a small army necessary, so we'll take our professionals, our good non-garrison divisions, because we don't have much supply here anyway. They have 153, but we only have 25. And we do have a small room for planes, so we'll bring a nice 160 stack into Ireland. And Bulgaria has also capitulated. Once we're finished with Ireland, we should be all ready for Yugoslavia. And if we're not by then, Canada will have capitulated first, and we can do Yugoslavia after the war. Although they will probably join the Chinese United Front, so we should be prepared for that. Alright, we're ready for Ireland. Let's declare war right now. Yes, I believe United Kingdom, or should I say the Union of Britain, is already in this war. So you need to call them in. And we just got the T-35. Let's go for our heavy tank destroyer. I think you use those in Space Marines or something. So if we're going to invade Japan, that might be helpful. For now, let's set up on Yugoslavia and prepare to invade. And Ireland has capitulated. Let's reassign our army over to Zara. Alright, now it did say Canada has 4 to 14 troops left, and there aren't many on the front, so I did assume there would be some resistance on the way to Vancouver, and it looks like that is showing up, which may give us time to get Yugoslavia in the war. And we got Operation Zet. Let's go for Annex Tanatuva. Be sure to improve relations. I am told they are a quite powerful nation. South Africa has once again capitulated, which I think should greatly aid our situation. Yeah, that's much better. That is much better. Hopefully we won't get any divisions encircled now. Alright, we're ready on Yugoslavia. Let's declare war right now. Call in Hungary, Austria. Let's make sure the war gets merged first. Yeah, there we go. So I know what war they're getting called into. It is only one war we're in. We've been at war with Yugoslavia for about a week now, and I think we're about to take Vancouver. Do we get Yugoslavia? Alright, we got Yugoslavia in the peace deal. The situation is under control. Let's go for... Okay, the Netherlands we were going to puppet and make a lowlands confederation. Let's do that. So, first off, we'll go with the Netherlands. Where are they on this list? Here they are. First thing we'll do is satellite Dutch East Indies, Republic of Suriname, and the Netherlands Dutch Antilles. And the turn. Alright, what other... Oh, don't do that. What other states do they have? It's just the three core states, so we'll just puppet them there. And the turn. Now we'll take our Dutch puppet. Oh my goodness, the amount of war score. Alright, let's pass a little bit. We're the only one in this peace deal, so it should be no problem for us just to pass a little bit. And give them all the lowlands regions so they can form that formidable nation. Seems like a good idea. New Zealand we got as well, that's perfect. Now we can satellite Samoa. And then puppet the rest. Or we'll do that next turn once we've satellited. Because it's only the North Island and South Island left. For South Africa, we'll satellite Namibia. And then puppet them. Now for Canada, we'll do our usual United States configuration for an invasion of the United States, and then we'll puppet the rest here. We can release to them the rest of the occupation zone once we are finished with our war with the United States. But there are some things that need to happen, like wartime measures type things, that will make it easier for us, even though it may cause slight bits of border inaccuracy. So we can satellite Papua New Guinea and the Solomon Islands. That's perfect. And then they're just left with their core territory. So we'll puppet Australia there. Nationalist Spain, there's a few people we can satellite. Catalonian Free Republic, no, we don't need to do that. We don't need to do any of those mainland areas, just Equatorial Guinea. And I believe that would be Western Sahara there. They have a few islands around as well. So we'll take the islands, not the Mediterranean islands though, those will be fine in Spain. And then let's puppet Spain. On Spain. Now Portugal, they have a few bobs. Let's satellite Guinea-Bissau, Angola, Mozambique. Those are the 3 African colonies. Now they do have some other states around. Portuguese Timor will be given to the Dutch East Indies. Macau will be taken and then eventually released to China. And puppet Portugal. Belgium, they just have the Congo left, I believe. So we will satellite Rwanda and Burundi. And then we will satellite Zaire. Then their mainland part has been taken care of with this lowlands confederation. Bulgaria, I think, will just puppet straight up. I think, historically speaking, they would have taken control of Dobruja, but that's really not necessary to take away from our Romanian puppet, since it is under Romanian control at the moment. And puppet the rest of Turkey. Ireland will puppet, and then release the occupation zone. And Yugoslavia, I might normally disunite, but they were a historic communist state. So we'll just puppet Yugoslavia. And then release the occupation zone to them as well. Perfect. We are done. Alright, let's unpause a little bit. And there's the peace conference screen. We took 38 states, yes, because we took over our civil war. They were technically in the Allies. Russia and Belgium and Luxembourg were annexed. Alright, first one is going to be Ireland. What are they called? Irish People's Union. Irish People's Union, let's return territory. Perfect, we've united Ireland. And SFR, Yugoslavia. I believe that would be the Socialist Federal Republic of Yugoslavia. Zara and Istria, parts of Croatia, will be returned to them, so they can have a functioning Croatian Soviet. What else do we have? Moroccan People's Republic. Moroccan People's Republic, we will return territory. I think we took care of all the occupation zones, but for now I think we're going to have to leave it here. We're not able to get over into China or Japan this episode, but that is okay because we were able to get the rest of Europe and just about all of Africa. I think the only country left is Liberia, which is fine to leave for now since they're not an imperial colony. But we're in a good position to take out the United States as well as China and Japan with their client states, with our holdings in Siberian Asia and India and Indochina. So I hope you did enjoy this episode. I think the Colored Puppets mod and the Blue Marble mod really made this episode a lot better, made it a lot easier to see, and I just personally enjoy this visual layout a lot better. And you can really see our borders a lot easier instead of having to go over and press F10 to see the comment turn. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you in part 3. Goodbye.